this body of fear, this small sense of self, arises at times with low self-esteem and unworthiness and fear of rejection and fear of loss and fear of what they'll say and fear of our feelings, of our grief or our fear or our rage or our love. Some people, you know that old cartoon from Jules Pfeiffer where one woman and a man are kind of together and she's standing in the corner with her arms outstretched and he's kind of cowering a little bit. And she's saying, "But I love you." And he looks back at her and says, "Don't you threaten me," you know. But we all have at times fear, whether it's fear of rejection or fear of dependence or fear of love or fear of our grief or our rage and so forth. We get lost in this small sense of self. To meditate, to undertake a spiritual practice, is an invitation to discover a wholeness that is who you really are. To include your body and your heart and your mind and your deepest longing and your rage and your fear and your love and all of that, to make a space of compassion big enough to include all of our humanity. Kabir, the Indian mystic poet, puts it this way: we sense that there is some sort of spirit that loves birds and animals and the ants. Even in the midst of our fear, we know this. Perhaps the same one who gave a radiance to you in your mother's womb. Is it logical you would be walking around entirely orphaned now? The truth is you turned away yourself and decided to go in the dark alone, perhaps to protect yourself. And now you are tangled up in others and have forgotten what you once knew. Kabir says, who are you really, wanderer? Why not remember today? So our meditation in that way isn't to make ourselves different or become a different person, but rather it's to discover that wholeness that is there and available to us in any moment. There's a famous story in India about this possibility that spiritual life offers of the sage Nagarjuna. And because Nagarjuna was such a wise monk and teacher, at one point the king in that area, the emperor, had a golden begging bowl made to offer to him. So here's this wandering mendicant with this incredible gold begging bowl. And he was sleeping one night, wandered to a temple, starting to sleep, and all of a sudden he saw someone in the shadows and this thief kind of waiting till he fell asleep to come and steal the golden bowl. And he said, "You there, thief, come here, please," in the kindliest way. He says, "Please take this so that you won't disturb my prayers in the mornings." And the thief's eyes got wide. And he said, "You mean I can have it?" Nagarjuna says, "You may take. And the thief couldn't take it. And he said, "You have something that I want that's even more than this golden bowl." This is really what meditation offers. There's a possibility of healing, of the only way to work with that hole in ourselves is actually to accept it, to love it, of sitting with the hole, the suffering, the pain, the fear, all those pieces, and discovering that it's possible to rest in our being, to not run away on one hand, to not seek anything on the other, really not trying to be different. Instead, to touch our pain and loss and sorrow and incompleteness, our brokenness, with compassion. So that when we sit, we expand our heart, and it's not just my pain or your pain or my loneliness or your loneliness, but it's the loneliness we all share as human beings. It's the sorrows we carry for what goes on in this world and what's happened to us. It's not my pain, but it's the pain of being human. And when we sit with that compassion and hear all the stories of love and hate and ambition and fear and all that society wants us to be and all that we try to do, if we do that and let this great stillness that is always here show itself. We discover a kind of inner knowing. My teacher called it the one who knows in us, that place of wisdom. And we can be true to our heart, true to ourself. Pablo Neruda, maybe the greatest poet of the century. I wish I could read it in Spanish. El miedo, fear. Everyone is after me to jump through hoops, whoop it up, play football, rush about, even go swimming and flying, fair enough. Everyone is after me to take it easy. They all make doctor's appointments for me, eyeing me in that quizzical way. What's going on? Everyone is after me to take a trip, to come in, to leave, not to travel, to die and alternately not to die. It doesn't matter. Everyone is spotting oddness in my innards, suddenly shocked by radio awful diagrams. I do not agree. Everyone is picking at my poetry with their relentless knives and forks, trying no doubt to find a fly. I'm afraid. I'm afraid of the whole world, afraid of cold water, afraid of death. I am, as all mortals are, unable to be patient. And so, in these brief, passing days, I shall not take them into account. I shall open up and closet myself with my most treacherous enemy, Pablo Neruda. There's so many things that want us to be something for them. And it's only when we take the time to sit and really listen that we can make a light of ourselves. The last words of the Buddha, make of yourself a lamp, make of yourself a light, and be true to our inner knowing. And if we are, that includes our sorrows. It includes the wisdom that acknowledges there will be loss, there will be change, there will be suffering, there will be grief. That is the truth. But out of everything that's lost, something new also is born. So often, we want to be loved. We want to be held. And it's so hard to be vulnerable. Meditation, in a way, is an invitation to that vulnerability of the rawness, the openness of the heart. Not because it's good for us, but because it moves us back to the truth that we are held. That if we can sit and open, we'll discover that this universe that has given birth to us really does hold us. And in that, we gradually learn to move from unhealthy attachment to a kind of wise relationship and interdependence, a trust.